It's a stunning admission. No one expected in Amber Guyger's murder trial. The lead investigator took the stand and said he didn't think the former Dallas police officer committed a crime when she shot and killed Botham Jean.
But the jury didn't get to hear that and never will. Jobin Paniker was in court when it happened. How surprising is this?
Very, very surprising, and to a lot of people. And this is highly unusual in a high-profile case. The lead investigator has a different opinion than what the state is trying to prove, that Amber Guyger murdered Botham Jean. These are the words the jury never heard on Wednesday.
That she believed that there was a burglar in her apartment.
Trooper David Armstrong did not think Amber Guyger committed a crime.
I believe that she did perceive him as a deadly threat.
It is rare for the lead investigator to break from the state's case, but the judge did not allow the jury to hear it, agreeing with the prosecution's challenge that this was his opinion. What the jury did hear and see were the photos of the crime scene and what the third and fourth floors of the South Side flats look like, pictures set side by side. The defense arguing Amber Guyger on the wrong floor at the wrong door was a simple mistake.
There were no clear, obvious visual signs showing what level you were on.
The prosecution during opening statement said Guyger missed obvious clues like Botham Jean's red doormat. A medical examiner also testified to the direction of the bullet. It struck Botham's left chest, pierced through the left ventricle of the heart, his lung, his ribs, and then his intestines. The prosecution trying to hit home that Botham was at home, sitting on his couch eating vanilla ice cream, watching football, before Amber Guyger pushed through the door. After 7 hours of testimony, it is this image that is most compelling, of Botham's father with his head against the wall, reacting to a video while trying to avoid seeing it, of his son dying in his own living room. All right, so we want to stress this. The jury did not hear the lead investigator's comments. The prosecution, the state, did challenge. The judge agreed that this was an opinion by the lead investigator and that this would misdirect the jury at some point. Now, there's a strong chance that the prosecution could rest its case tomorrow, which means the defense is up, which means Amber Guyger will soon testify. We just don't know when. Now, remember, the jury has been sequestered here. They are in a hotel here in Dallas County, and this trial could go into the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Jobin. You know, if you missed anything from day 3 of the trial, we have you covered. Just head to our website, WFAA.com. You can learn more about what the lead investigator said and what Botham's neighbors heard just moments before those deadly shots.